Hey, everybody. Welcome to Shelter in Place number 4. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to Friday. We've survived and we've thrived another week. Hope you guys are well, comfortable, as well and comfortable as you can be. Thanks for joining me again. I'm here at Open Studio, Grand Center, St. Louis, Missouri. Same place. I'm actually coming to do these mostly for you just to let you know that it's Friday. I know some folks are losing track of the days of the week. So today is Friday. I'm here by myself again. Starting to get used to this a little bit, but it's still kind of different. I've got some music prepared for you guys tonight, a few surprises even for myself. So I hope you enjoy. Sit back, relax. If you've got a beverage, please enjoy, and I'm going to join you afterwards. And let's do this. All right, that was Summertime by George and Ira Gershwin. Want to put a little optimism, a little love, a little hope out there that summertime is right around the corner, that we're going to get past all this madness by then. Spring is definitely in the air. If you're in the northern hemisphere, I guess it's going away if you're in the southern hemisphere. But hope you're well. Thank you. This is those of you just arriving. I'm still here all by myself. So what am I saying? Those of you that are arriving virtually, I hope that you had a good week and that you made it as good as you could, given the circumstances. So we're here for another week. This is number 4. And next, I would like to play a tune. And I'm so excited that I was able to find this because I was looking for... I was thinking about, social distancing. We've all gotten so good at social distancing. But let's make sure we don't spiritually distance. We need to be spiritually close, even though we're physically apart. We don't want the social distancing to become a separation of humanity. So we got to work at that. We got to find new ways, to do that. But it made me think about someone that I think about a lot, a musician that I dearly loved, still dearly love, that we lost just over a year ago, Mr. Roy Hargrove, out of Dallas, Texas, one of the great trumpet players of our generation, of any generation, great composer, great person, great friend, and a huge loss, much, much, much too early to the jazz community and the greater music community. But this idea of not spiritually distancing, it reminded me of a tune that he wrote when he was very young, and he actually taught me this tune when I played with him when we were like 22, 23 years old. And I remember thinking at the time, what a mature melody and harmony and composition it was. But it really got me thinking recently about it, so I wanted to kind of pull it out, and I pretty much had it memorized, but I got it here just in case and was able to find the chart. And this is Roy Hargrove's Spiritual Companion. Thank you very much. That was In a Mellow Tone by Duke Ellington. Little arrangement I put on that. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you guys are relaxing. Hope you guys can decompress a little bit this evening. Put the worries of the world aside for a few minutes. Enjoy a little bit of music. Enjoy some beverage. Enjoy your loved ones. I know we're all spending a lot of time with our loved ones. And but it's important to enjoy them. Everybody's into new routines and working and school or not working or staying in, sheltering at home. But hold those loved ones tight. I'm going to play a tune that might make it a little bit easier. This is a composition of Ray Noble's. Hope I'm getting that correct. I think it's Ray Noble, called The Very Thought of You. But this is a beautiful romantic ballad. So pull some of your loved ones close on this one on this Friday evening. And enjoy. Thank you guys very much. I could feel you. I could feel you. We got some good rhythm out there. We got some good rhythm from around the world, pulling it all together. That was Kenny Garrett, great saxophonist. His composition entitled "Sing a Song of Song." I've been having some time to dive back into some old, not old repertoire, stuff I hadn't played in a while. And actually, my beautiful wife Kelly said just early this afternoon, she said, "Why don't you do an old school set?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, Snug Harbor, back in the 90s. And so that was something that we used to play. Bryce Winston, Nicholas Payton, Roland Guerin, Adonis Rose, the whole crew, Brian Blade, Chris Thomas, we used to play on that tune. So that one's kind of a throwback to New Orleans. Sending a lot of love, as always, out to New Orleans, to Louisiana, to New York City, to California, to Italy, to Russia, to Bolivia, to Brazil. I'm just naming countries, but these are all places I'm thinking about. France, Germany, Sweden, and love to all around the world, please. I had a request last week. Actually, 2 weeks ago, I think I played, maybe last week too, some Brazilian music. But I had a request for some more, and I love to do that. You don't even need to request it, but if you do, I want to do it. And just want to let you guys know we're going to start. We've actually started doing a little series of these now. We got the Friday night solo piano. Last night we debuted our first Shelter in Place solo guitar with, speaking of Brazil, one of the foremost Brazilian jazz guitarists. Actually, you know what? I'm going to stop saying one of the. He is the foremost Brazilian jazz guitarist and just an amazing guitarist, period. Mr. Romero Lubambo, who played from his home up in Tahoe in Nevada last night, did a beautiful concert. So be looking out for that. We're going to try to get him to do one next week. If you follow us, Open Studio, myself on socials, you'll see that. We're just going to try to get some music out there as many nights as we can do this. So I'm here alone. If you guys, if this is your first week, I know it seems like there's a lot of camera people here, but there's not. There's me. There's a robot operating that moving camera there. There's another camera. There's one here. What's up? And then my wonderful team is operating all this stuff remotely from a couple of miles away via the World Wide Webs. And big shout out to Adam and Dan for putting all this together and helping me with this and putting it in play. Thank you guys for being here. So I'm going to do some Brazilian music, do a couple more tunes, and just to let you know, please stick around. We have a little bit of fun. Call it the Green Room, a little bit of an after party. But you know, a jazz after party. Classy, not like a rock and roll after party where you trash the hotel and you got a big bill in the morning. This is a classy. Might have a little bit of my Riegers there if you guys want to pull up a drink. And what I want to do this week, because we had a lot of people asking about the setup, if some of you, we'll stay right here afterwards on YouTube. I can take some questions you can see in the chat. Love to talk to you guys. But also, if you follow me on Instagram and want to go there, I'm going to try to pull in a couple of live questions, put you on video. So you can still stay here on YouTube. I'll show it there. But any of you that are on the IG, as we say, any of you young folks like under the age of 90 or under the age of 100 that are on the IG, follow me. I am Peter Martin, and get ready, and then you can request to be on the video. We'll do some questions, have some fun, so I won't feel so alone here. So, Brazilian music. I don't like to say it starts and ends with Antonio Carlos Jobim, but it's not a bad place to start, nor a bad place to end either. So we're going to play a little bit of Jobim, AC. Thank you very much. That was Stevie Wonder's Summer Soft. Beautiful composition from the master Stevie Wonder. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Hope you've had a good evening. Hope that you are sheltering in place. Social distancing, but like we talked about, no spiritual distancing. Spiritual coming together, spiritual companions for each other, for humanity. I'll play one more tune, and then please stick around for the after set, the green room, the hang. We're going to have a little drink together. Those of you that want to hit me up on Instagram, I am Peter Martin. I'm going to find my phone after this, and maybe we can have a little question, a little bit of video back and forth. You can stay right here and watch that right here on the same thing on YouTube. Big shout out to our sponsors, Open Studio. We are at Open Studio. Go to openstudiojazz.com. We have many different courses. Choose what you pay. Everybody's hurting for money. We got you covered. So this last tune I like to play is kind of an insider bebop thing that I was just playing around with this afternoon. I said, you know what? Let's have a little fun with it. Hope you enjoy Clifford Brown's Max Roach, Daahoud. Thank you guys very much. My name is Peter Martin. This is Shelter in Place solo piano, Friday nights. I'm going to be here all throughout the month of April. And who knows, maybe I'll be here beyond that. We're taking it 1 week at a time, but I'll definitely be here in April on Friday nights. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please stick around. We are going to do a little bit of an after set, as we've done the last couple of weeks, since folks have seemed to enjoy the community and the camaraderie of our little community here. So, if you want to go on Instagram, what I thought would be fun is that I could show, and I'm going to figure out if I can do this, because I'm afraid to move any of these cameras. Actually, maybe I can move this one. But a lot of folks were asking about the setup, and some folks didn't believe me that I'm here alone. I am socially distanced right now. I mean, to the extreme, you know. That's what's happening. So I'm going to go live on Instagram, too. So if you want to join me there as well, feel free to. Let's see if we can do that. How's everybody feeling tonight? I'm going to take that as, hey, good. Hold on a second. So we're going live on Instagram. You can join me there. It's at I am Peter Martin. And I think I can take this camera over here. We're going to see what happens. But let's see, we got a message here. You can move the webcam. Okay. My director says I can move the webcam, so let's do that. And then I'm also going to get out. If you guys want to leave a comment or something on the YouTube, you can do that because we are technologically advanced. So I'm going to try to stay low here and take this. Hold on. Don't go anywhere, anybody. Okay. So let's do this first. Okay. So, obviously, this is the piano. Can you guys see this angle here? This is what I'm looking at instead of your beautiful faces. I'm looking at this, at these cameras, and this is the robot I was talking about. Let's see if you see it now. Sweet Peter gets better every week. Thanks for doing this. Thanks, Mark. Mark from Arizona. Hello from British Columbia. Igor Stravinsky just joined. What? Enjoyed the show, made my night. Good. That's what I like to hear. That's what I'm here for, you know? Awesome show, Peter. Thanks. Pam, love these concerts. Thank you, Pam. I hope that you're well, sheltering, well, and in good health. I see the floor. You see the floor. Okay. So hopefully, and it's a little bit delayed, but this is the robotic camera. It's moving on a rail to give it a little bit of motion. That's that there. Oh, sorry. I'm going to mess up this whole thing, but that's kind of what's happening. Look, we got the lights here. This is what I'm looking at here. That's what's happening. So hopefully that worked a little bit for you guys. I'm going to get the YouTube comments here so we can see what's happening. Boom, 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 boom. 2 a.m. in the UK. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate that very much. Wow. Okay, I'm looking over with. Sorry. Okay, I kind of probably messed up with that angle there, didn't I? I didn't do too great on that one. My bad. Okay. So if anybody wants to ask a question on Instagram here, let me get my face. I can bring you in, and then we can show everybody what's happening if anybody wants to do that. So we're going to see if we can get that going. Just ask to join. And then that's what's up. Hold on, we got people. Instagram Live is just the floor. Yeah, I know. Well, I'm trying to do two things at once here. You know what I'm saying? There we go. There. Now I can see Instagram Live. Great Friday concert. Thanks, Don. Thank you. Okay, so I'm looking at both these. Grown up, modern, happy music from Gary. Big Gary S. Not Big Gary. Big personality. Big, nice guy is what I'm saying. I know, Gary, good to see you here. Sure wish I could convince more jazz musicians to play some pop tunes written in our lifetime. Yes, absolutely. Indonesia, shout out from Seth. Good to hear that. Good to hear that. Amazing from Gordon. Thank you. We love you. Great bebop. SFBA representing. The joy is contagious. Oh, thank you, Homer. Or is that Homer? Enjoying from Santa Cruz. What's up, Charlie? Charlie, Bay Area, Santa Cruz Mountains. Okay, that's not a bad place to be enjoying things from. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, who's going to join first on Instagram and wants to either ask a question or give a shout out or something like that? Peter, all love and peace to you. All the best wishes from Brazil. From BRS. That's from the Brazilian. Oh, Felipe. What's up, Felipe? Thank you, brother. All the way from Sao Paulo. Okay, here we go. Father Saka and David Elaine sent a request to be, all right, here we go. It's about to go down. So this is Saka, I believe, that's asking to be in the video and going to ask a question. We're going to see how we're going to get everyone to see this here. Hello. Hey, what's up? All right, I got to show the people here. Can you guys see that? That's Saka. Okay, Saka. Are you about to turn 19? Is that what's happening? Okay. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. You're on Instagram. You're on YouTube. Did you guys enjoy the concert? Yes. Say that again.
It was lovely. Thanks.
Okay, see, now everybody can hear it. Okay, thank you guys. Peace. Ezra, Saka, Nancy. All right, there you go. Who's next? Who wants to come on next? 18, damn, killing. Thank you. Is that Jesse McBride? My brother from Houston and New Orleans. Hello from Curitiba, Brazil. Nelson, what's up, Nelson? How you doing? What's up, Carter? I see you there. I see you, Carter. If anybody wants to join in, let me know. I got to get my drink. Come on. What are we drinking tonight, folks? What are we drinking? Oh, and I'm trying to do better with my mic. This thing is hard to hold. I was told to hold it at a 45-degree angle, which is easier than maybe it sounds, but and at my chin. Am I doing a good job? Could you guys let me know in the comments here if I'm doing a good job? You know, what's up, David? Gracias, Peter, por ten hermosa regalos. Saludos desde Puerto Rico. What's up, Puerto Rico? What's up, David? Thank you for being here. So I'm still dealing with this Riegers. I've been so busy, like you guys see, it only goes down a little bit because I've only been drinking it here. So hopefully things will start to relax so I actually leave it here at the studio. That's part of the reason it doesn't get drunk that much. Anybody else want to join in on the Instagram, on the video? You know what I'm saying? Did you plan the arrangement of Triste in advance? That's a question from David. Not really. Actually, not at all. Well, I did kind of plan the two keys like a couple of hours ago. I didn't really plan it. That was something I was playing around with, going up a half step halfway through. But I thought I was just going to do it on the melody. And so I did it more just to see, how comfortable I would be. And I just tried to, the great thing about solo piano is you can go anywhere. And that's a dangerous thing. It's like going on a hike. You can take any route that you want. You can stay on the path, or you can go a little bit and come back, or you can totally go off and hope not to get lost. But you don't have to worry about anybody else getting in your way or whatever. But if you get lost and you're on your own, you could die. So, that's kind of the tightrope I try to walk and make it exciting. Hopefully, if you guys hear it, and you don't need to know about the different keys and stuff, but I want it to be spontaneous because it is spontaneous. So I never plan the stuff. I'll have a foundation for an arrangement or an idea, and then I'll just try to go with it and see where it goes. And sometimes, some mistakes are made, but I try to keep the spirit of the music happening and keep it alive. And I'm so grateful for you guys, and it's a lot of, it's very heartening for me that it's important for you guys to be here at the time I'm doing this, because that means a lot to me. I feel that energy. And a lot of folks have been like in different parts of the world, like, oh, it's so late. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get up at 3 a.m. I tell them, I'm like, we're going to leave this up on YouTube, no problem. They're like, no, I want to be there for the moment. And it's really reminded me how important live music is, in pandemic, out of pandemic, in isolation, not live music, getting together to celebrate music together is just one of the joys of life. And so let's raise a glass for music, around the world. Music is a bonding force. It's like the opposite of war. It's the opposite of famine. It's the opposite of coronavirus. It's something that brings all people together. And so, saúde, as they say in Brazil, saúde, A Musica. All right, Igor Stravinsky. Is that the real Igor Stravinsky? Kuko and I love your Friday night concerts. Thank you. I got to tell you, I'm so excited to have a gig. I'm always talking to my musician friends, and like nobody has any gigs. And I'm like, man, I don't want to brag or like show off, but I'm like, actually, I have a gig every Friday night. And so that's a very special thing for me because I don't take it for granted. I'm usually playing a lot more, but, you know, so every bit I savor, you know. And hi, Peter, can you recommend some tunes to transcribe for beginner jazz pianists? That's a great solo, Freddie Freeloader. I'm always talking about that because it's great. And it's beginner, intermediate. I mean, you can take it. It's a lifetime of learning. C-Jam Blues, transcribe that. Now's the time. Just get some basic blues under your belt. Good stuff to transcribe. How to play interesting lines on simple changes, i.e. F blues. Play what you hear. You know, we made a podcast called You'll Hear It because of that. It's really true. Just... I mean, don't be afraid to play simple stuff. Play in the groove. You know, don't worry about playing something interesting. You are interesting. We're all interesting. You know, if you let that come out, let your personality come out. Practice as much as you can, and then when you get up to play, just let your personality come out because that's really, you know, I think what it is. Cheers to live music. Exactly. I feel like a grandpa here on YouTube. You know what? We are all grandfathers, grandmothers, grandchildren, all at the same time. This one world, one humanity. You know what I'm saying? Peter, what are the newest tunes you've learned that you're excited about? Well, actually, tonight was maybe the first night of these concerts that I didn't play some. Oh, well, Summer Soft. I hadn't really ever performed that. I mean, I've known the tune because I'm a big Stevie Wonder fan for a while now, but that's sort of something new. I guess I learned it. I mean, I kind of known it just hearing it so much. But that was new tonight. Every week I've been trying to do some new things because I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to get better. You know, I mean, I feel like, you know, I can see more of the things that I need to learn than what I know. So, you know, I learned some, that Caetano Veloso. We did that a couple weeks ago. Last week I did some new stuff. I'm always trying to just hear new music. Okay, we have music talking about Boisaska Musica and Saúde. We had Felipe, now we got Romero Lubamba. We got some Brazilian music royalty in the house, which I'm always grateful for. You taught me the most piano of anyway. Thank you, Jesse. Man, that means a lot to me. You taught me a lot too. You taught me a lot about music, about basketball, about you know, sticking to what you believe in, and it's mutual, my brother. Peak Skill is in the house. Peak Skill, New York, I guess. Somebody's asking, do I miss Saturday basketball? I do. Although my chance of injury has gone down quite a bit. We have a regular Saturday basketball game that's actually real close to here. It's great to see everybody. Romero, yeah, if you guys missed Romero Lubambo's solo concert, his shelter in place last night, it was so amazing. We're trying to draft him to do it again next week. So if we put a little pressure on him here, that might happen. So it was really a special thing. I was watching my living room on the big screen, and well, it's not that big. I mean, it's bigger than a phone or a computer. The sound was nice. It was in Romero's new studio up in the beautiful Lake Tahoe region of Nevada, right by the Nevada-California border, one of those special places where he's just moved with his beautiful wife. And, you know, as much as I played with Romero, to be able to sit back and hear him from afar, I'd rather be right next to him playing with him. But it was a very special thing, and it gave me some real kind of insight into, you know, what we're trying to do here. So we're trying to draft some other Open Studio artists and just other artists in general. So please look out for that. Follow Open Studio because we're going to be putting up as much stuff as we can. Need a drink. Exactly. How do you go live in Instagram? I don't know. There's somewhere you can, maybe somebody else could tell them. It's 2 a.m., Aaron. Yeah, man, you got to go. You don't need to go to bed. You're 17 now. Somebody needs to tell somebody how to go live because I actually don't know how to do that. I know how to let you in. Yes, it's so important, Rob, to watch live. I totally agree. What's up, Aya? I see you in the house, New Jersey. Daniel might school you in basketball, but you went on piano. You know what? Daniel, my younger son, is not a bad pianist. So, yes, I can school him. But He can definitely school me in he's passed me a while ago. Both the sons and the daughter. They all can school me in basketball. But don't let me pull out my old man tricks. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting close. Hi from Uruguay. I'm very inspired by your playing. Thank you very much, Danny. Which piano players do you listen to? I listen to Herbie Hancock. You know who else I listen to is Robert Glasper. I love like younger pianists. I love talking about Robert Glasper because like he's young. He's not young, but I remember him when he was young. He's younger than me. I like Adam Manis because I hear him a lot, and he's a great pianist. Amazing touch, amazing ideas. He loves to play things like this. Bust that out anytime, like me. So we're kind of kindred spirits when it comes to those sus chords and kind of gospel-y type of stuff. What's up, Elio? What's up? Okay, so now we got Elio Alves, one of my favorite. That's another pianist I listen to. I've been listening to him for years and loving it all the time. Okay, so we got some folks that want to go live. David Robinson. Okay, we're going live. You ready, David? It's all happening. See, some people say, "What's up, David?"
Hey, Peter.
How you doing?
That was great. Awesome concert. Thank you so much for doing this. The sound quality was amazing. The placement of the mics, the choice selection. I mean, what a way to spend a Friday night.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You can see that's the mics. That's Adam Manis' handiwork there, and Andrew Kitchen. Thank you very much. I don't know if you guys can see. Look, there's a little ghetto the way we're doing this, but that's David Robinson there. Next week, we might even really have people on screen. Well, thank you for being here, and have a great night. Have a great week. I'll see you next week. All right, thanks, David. See, it's possible to go live. Folks are doing it. Folks are doing it. This is when you first join, it says you can request to go live. You can scroll to the top to join. I got to keep the mic towards my chin. That's what I was told. This Riegers. Maybe Riegers would like to sponsor our show next week. That might be nice. Big shout out, she might be watching, to Cheryl Martin, who is one of the finest piano tuners anywhere, and we're so blessed to have her right here in St. Louis. She's been coming in every Friday before I play to tune the piano. She comes in a side door. She has gloves on and a mask, and she's super dedicated. I haven't actually seen her, but I've seen video of her because we had some stuff set up, and she's been getting this piano. I mean, I've been hitting it hard, on some recordings and this gig, and we want it to sound right because everyone's like, the mics sound great. That's true, but if the piano doesn't sound in tune, you guys are not going to like me, you're not going to like Friday, and you're not going to tune in. So we want to say thank you to Cheryl for her dedication and her safety and her piano tuning. So big cheers to Cheryl. If you're in the St. Louis area and you're lucky enough to be able to get her, highly recommend, by the way. All right, what else we got? We're going to look back here over at the turn these concerts into a CD digital release. Not a bad idea, Gary. I don't know. We're having fun just giving stuff away. I think that's the new model. For this time, that's what seems right, huh? I don't know how I got here, but hell yeah. Joshua, I love that. Is that some kind of YouTube algorithm that sent you here? That would be awesome if it did. If the algorithm is working right, if the Matrix has plugged us in correctly and it sent you here, but you like it and said, hell yeah, good. I'm a Fats Waller fan. Not much of that around in modern players. Maybe you think it's old-fashioned. What do you think, Robert? I love Fats Waller. I remember learning that tune. I'd heard it, but really learning it from the late great Ellis Marsalis at Snug Harbor. Jesse McBride, he knows what I'm talking about. He heard him do it there many times. I mean, I can still remember the way he played it. That's a bridge between, greatness and greatness, back to Fats Waller. But yeah, I agree. You know who's got a great concept? Another homie of Jesse's from Houston is Jason Moran. He's got some great modern concepts. I mean, people know about Fats Waller. It percolates up there. You know, it's definitely in the lineage for sure. Would love to hear Stevie's tune every week. All right, I'll do it. Why not? I think I've done one every week almost. I love playing his music. Wow, we got a bunch of stuff. Okay, sorry, I missed a whole bunch of stuff earlier. Great concert. Thank you, Brian, in Belfast. Yes, Brian, Belfast. How many of you guys have been to Belfast? I'm going to tell you something. I love music because I love listening to it. I love playing it. I love that it's brought me together with such amazing people. And also, it's taken me to some of the most beautiful places. Belfast, the people there, oh, man, Belfast is amazing. I mean, as soon as I see that name, that city, it's just like takes me back there. I can't wait to go back one day. I hope so. Thank you, Peter. It was inspiring. Thanks, Steve. I'm inspired. He's really playing Candy Crush. Okay? Maybe so. That was awesome again. Thanks, Andy Z. Summer Soft, MF. Thank you for the music. I'm just looking to see if there's anything. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Mad Skills with the Z. You know, any kind of word with the Z is always good. All right, somebody else want to go live with us? Swinging at the Haven, that's right. Oh, yeah, we got some more lives. Thomas, are you here? You got something to say? What's up, Thomas? Thomas, you are on live at the after set. What's up, Thomas?
How are you, man?
I'm good. How you doing? Sorry, I'm getting all close to you because I want them to be able to hear it on the mic.
It's not the first time people get close.
What you doing, man? Where you at?
I'm in Panama.
Panama.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at this. I was about to watch this video by you guys. I want this Adam back.
Adam.
I want the stash back.
All right, we got to show it there. Can you guys see
Where
it?
did
I might
the
be getting
stash
too
go?
close.
Oh, let me show it to the people.
Yeah. Show yourself too. See there? All right, you got a question, you got a comment, or you just want to say you want Adam back?
Well, no, I just wanted to say that you really inspire me, and your videos really inspire me. I don't really catch a lot of the live stuff.
Okay.
But I watch your videos like all the time, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. What's the jazz scene down there happening? I know Danilo is one of your guys'
it's
heroes.
pretty small. It's pretty small and all based around Danilo. But
Danilo, yeah. I love Danilo.
Yeah.
Danilo Perez. All right, well, thank you for checking in, brother. Come back next week, okay?
See you later, man.
All right, peace. That's Tomas from Panama. There you go. I hope you guys can hear that there. We have to figure out how we're going to get ahead of ourselves at some point and have too much stuff happening here. But it's all good. Let's see what else. Oh, let me turn this around so on Instagram so you guys can see. Oh, we got a bunch of people on Instagram. What? You guys can see what I look at. That's what's up. You can see it moving. Maybe not that interesting. Swinging at the Haven. Yeah, I did that a couple of weeks ago. I've been trying not to. Have I repeated any tunes? I don't think I have. I've been trying not to. What else we got? Hi, Peter. Have you ever met Indonesian jazz pianist Joey Alexander? He's a young prodigy with a great talent. Also, he inserted Balinese traditional music scale into his rendition in exotic flavor. Yes, I know Joey Alexander. Hung out with him a couple times. He is such a nice kid. He's a kid, but when he gets to the piano, he's not a kid. He's a very mature, accomplished, inspiring pianist. One of my favorite of the young pianists for sure, of any age. I mean, it's really amazing. I mean, he's a phenom and a wunderkind and all that, but I mean, he is like a deeply soulful player. And actually, I saw him on Monday. We did an online kind of thing for Jazz at Lincoln Center, and Wynton Marsalis, a little talk with a few of us talking about Ellis Marsalis and his impact upon the music, and it was great. Joey Wynton was giving him a hard time, joking with him that he had to go to bed, so he got to talk first and some little jokes like that. But Wynton loves him, I know, too. Everybody loves Joey because he's a great player. He's a super nice kid, super smart, and a lot of fun to be around. And yeah, we had a great time speaking about Ellis. I was honored to be a part of that. Clarence Penn, who studied with Ellis early on, great drummer. Jonathan Baptiste, who of course came up with Ellis. And you know, it was so, you know, edifying to be able to just talk about Ellis and to be around others. And we couldn't be in person, unfortunately. We're going to definitely come together. I'm hoping, I know we will, and memorialize Ellis in person once we can do that down in New Orleans. But it was the next best thing for now. Actually, I think you can watch it. I think it's still up on the Jazz at Lincoln Center website. You can check that. It was from this past Monday. Adam, what is up? You are throwing some dollars our way, which is much appreciated. Thank you very much. That is like a super chat, which now I've learned what it is. And no one should feel any obligation to do that. But when you do that, it's a beautiful thing. So thank you, Adam. You are the highlight of my week. Wow. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. Jitterbug Waltz. That's right. On Fridays and Emmett Cohen on Mondays. When are you going to sleep? Man, there's a lot of great music on. I know. It's like I've been like busier than ever playing and practicing and open studio and family. It's been crazy, but I've been getting a chance to check out some wonderful stuff. Now, I haven't seen Emmett. I heard he was doing some stuff, so I want to check that out. Is that on Mondays? I think it's on something. Temporary Space says, thank you. You're welcome. Loved your appearance with Winton this past week. Nice tribute to Ellis. Man, words can't express. I tried to, but, words can't express the love that I have, when you have love and appreciation and just a deeply soulful connection from just being able to be around somebody like Ellis Marsalis. He's very like understated in a lot of ways. So people, it's just kind of, he's sort of known as, of course a great musician, but as Winton and Branford and Jason and Delfio's and the whole gang's father. And he was an incredible father. Obviously you can see the result of that, but he was just a force, an understated on the surface, but a force in the music, and he influenced so many people. And so that's kind of what we were getting together and talking about. It just sort of started pouring out of all of us, It was a very special thing, He was a very special man, and I'm honored to have been around him. Daahoud, was he calling my name? We got a couple folks from Indonesia. Yes. Clifford Brown died in a car accident at 25, which is insane because if you hear his recordings, he was playing all that. What would have happened had that not happened? Along with Powell, Bud Powell's brother, whose name is escaping me. Richie? Not Richie Powell. He was also in that car accident. Really enjoyed the piano live. Thank you. Any thoughts on Jacob Collier as a pianist? I think he's great. I didn't see him live today. Jacob Collier, I think, is amazingly talented. And I think he's, let me switch this back here too. I think he's, I haven't followed his stuff super closely. I've seen some of his stuff. I've met him a couple times. I think he's great. I think, having young players that are really like musically ambitious, that pull in other young people is so important. We're always talking about listen to the masters, and of course you want to do all that. But young people want to see somebody their age or about their age doing this as well. So I'm a huge fan. Any thoughts? Oh yeah, I just said that. How was John Baptiste in person? He's kind of a weird guy. Let me tell you a quick story about Jonathan Baptiste. He's kind of a weird. He's very unique. I wouldn't say he's weird. I guess unique is weird in a way. He is super, super, super intelligent, musically intelligent, and otherwise, as far as I can tell. I first met Jonathan when he was about, I don't know, maybe 14, 15 years old, pretty young. His father, when I was living in New Orleans for many years, his father brought him around our house to take some lessons. And he came in and was just like playing all this incredible stuff. I was like, wow. But Jonathan didn't talk at all, at least in the lesson. It was a little bit strange. His father talked, and I'd asked Jonathan, like, how long have you been playing? His dad's like, he's been doing this, he's been doing that. And hold on, I'm getting texts from the production team. Okay. So Jonathan didn't talk at all, but I was sort of talking, and I was like, man, he's shy, he's young, whatever. So I showed him a few things, and he came back the next time. And he didn't talk, like not one word came out. I didn't really think of it until the second time, and he still didn't talk. And I was like, man, maybe he's like, doesn't talk or whatever. But his dad was sort of there with him. And so Kelly, my beautiful wife, said, I got an idea for next time. And so they came in, and she took Jonathan's dad and said, here, why don't you come back? I made some coffee, and kind of took him into the other room. And then the first time it was just me and Jonathan. So then he spoke a little bit, but barely. I mean, he was just like playing, which was fine because he was doing his thing. And so I kind of, I can't remember exactly how it happened, but I think I definitely recommended Ellis. Maybe he was already studying with Ellis, and I was traveling a lot, and I was like, look, you're playing so good. You need like a classical teacher. You got the jazz and a lot of the other stuff. And so he kind of did his thing. And then I saw him some through high school just around. And then he went up to Juilliard and then has kind of taken off since then. I always joke with him when I see him because he's talking all the time now. I was like, man, I remember back when you came to the house 2 times in a row, didn't open your mouth. And then I see him on the Colbert Show. But I'm just a huge fan of his music and showmanship, of course, but also just as a person. And what he said on Monday I thought was very, very special and poised. And I love that guy. It's fun to see, these guys, who I've known since they were young doing their thing now, All right. So we're going to let me take a couple of more, and then I'm going to get out of here because I haven't had dinner yet. We have somebody else that wants to go live. Hey, from Korea, north or south? I'm assuming south. But I always want to that'd be cool to have somebody on the Instagram from North Korea, like behind the lines kind of thing. 12's it. Exactly. Okay, let me play a little bit. Hold up. That's Ellis Marsalis' 12s that somebody said. I think Brian said on here. Man, love him. All right, somebody's saying they want to join my live. Wants to be in your video. M, let's go live. What's up? What's up, what's up, what's up? Somebody's coming live. Boom, boom, boom. Greetings from Belgrade. That's somebody else. We were just talking about Belgrade. I love Belgrade. I see. Don't say you want to go live if you're not ready. If you're not ready. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else want to go live? Zach says, dig the solo piano playing. Getting a lot of inspiration from my own playing. Thank you for doing this. It's my pleasure. Yeah, I mean, I love solo piano. I'm always looking for inspiration and really appreciative to have this opportunity to do it. What else? What else? Can we have a few bars of Corcovado? Well, you know what? Yeah, why not? Corcovado. I need a martini and a cigarette, says Lee. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. That would not be bad at all. Alex says, hi, Peter. Really love your playing. Big fan. Great personality and infectious humor. Regards from Australia. Good day. Not a few bars. This is Corcovado behind bars. Haha. Got it. Viva Brazil. Yeah. Man, you guys, so many great comments. Maybe somebody should say something dark about me. It's too positive. No, I really appreciate it. I'm just joking. I like the way it catches the rye as it moves around. Solo over some swing. You're too good, man. Thanks a ton. Big shout out to Riegers. Hey, Riegers, if anybody from the Riegers Whiskey Company in Kansas City, Missouri is watching, would you guys like to sponsor next week's Shelter in Place concert? Actually, if anybody wants to sponsor this, we're open to that, especially if it involves doing something for a charitable cause. Actually, please reach out to us at Open Studio at where should you do it? So, actually, just send it to me. Send it to support@openstudionetwork.com if you have any ideas about a sponsorship. Like, for real. Don't be like, yeah, I want to sponsor it. Like, I'm going to show up. No, we're talking about this, but something to go to a good cause. I'd love to do that. I'm going to be here anyway, but, that would be cool. I just kind of talking out loud. Great story about the origins of John Baptiste. What a time to be alive. Here's to you. Yeah, here's to you, Simon. Thank you for that. Have I missed the whole thing, or will there be more? You missed the whole thing, Alexa. Come on, Alexa. Alexis Morales. But it's going to be up. You can just watch it here in a minute. As soon as we're done, you can start it over at the beginning and pretend like it started. I hope this time works for everybody. I apologize I know in Europe it's late. We're trying to at this point we're kind of locked into it. We're trying to make it East Coast, West Coast of the U.S., Australia, I think it's cool because it's tomorrow. Japan, China, and stuff. But Europe, it's the middle of the night. And so I will, if you guys want me to, I'll do something just for you guys sometime. Like, what is a good time in Europe? Well, if you're in the Mediterranean areas, it's probably like 10 o'clock. That's when gigs start. So that would be like 3 p.m. here. I'd be glad to do that. So just leave in the comments what would be a good time for you. I can't do personal concerts for everybody, but I can definitely hit some big countries. Italy, I know we got a lot of fans and members from Italy, Spain, France, so I love the Open Studio classes just started. All right, welcome, Alexa. Hilario Duran and Eddie Palmieri, have you listened to their music? Eddie Palmieri, I've listened to a lot. Hilario Duran, a little bit. Need to go deeper. I'll definitely make a note of that. A request for next time, Get Out of Town. Get Out of Town, or the song? Oh, Get Out of Town. Okay. It's 4:43 here. That looks like Russia maybe, or Greece, something. Have dinner. Are you kicking me off my own live stream? What up? No, I'm just kidding. Gordon, thank you. George, it works. What's up, George? Whatever time you prefer, Pete, we'll be there. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. It's 3:40 a.m. here. A bit of inner urge maybe to get me through. I will email Riegers. I should learn how to say. If they sponsor us, I'll definitely learn how to say their name. See you next Friday. Thank you, Peter, Dan, and Adam. Yeah, big shout out to Dan Martin and Adam Manis, who have been manning the cameras from the comfort of their own homes. They started the stream. I just walk in here. I got to do a little bit of setting of the robot because it's on a battery. So I do set that up, but they're guiding me via FaceTime and stuff. And it's really amazing what can be done here. We hope to soon be able to come back together and congregate safely. We're not there yet. We're sheltering in place. We're flattening the curve. But like I was saying, let's stay spiritually connected. Let's stay musically connected. Let's, not only make the best of the situation, let's look at it as a great time to be alive. It's a crazy time, but let's make use of it because we don't know how long we're here. This is a pandemic, and I'm not trying to be dark, but some people are making their exits. So let's honor them by trying to be as safe as we can, trying to keep this thing from spreading. That's our responsibility, our human responsibility. And let's use this time to celebrate music, to celebrate our loved ones and all that stuff. So thank you guys for being here. I'm going to sign off and go have some dinner. Love you guys very much. I'll be back here on next week on Friday, same time. And please check out Open Studio, Facebook, Twitter, and all that kind of stuff, Instagram, because we're going to do some other concerts that you may be interested in next week. So here's to you. Cheers. Saúde, salut, and much love, peace, and happiness to health and safety. Instagram. You guys still there?